the magic doesn't come from outside, it's inside you.
It starts from the inside out.
I don't want to give my power over to somebody else.
And harmony is such a good metaphor for all of the other things in life, for the richness and depth of all of our other passions and pursuits, the things that really authentically make us who we are.
But think of harmony also as a community. How do we get things done? I mean, a person can make a difference, but it doesn't get carried out except by a group, by a community. So if you look at shading of colors and harmony, community.
Yeah, we need the opportunity to up level, to rise, and we do that by surrounding ourselves with people who have higher energy than we do. We need that depth. We need that depth. That harmony is part of who we are as people. We are so multifaceted. It's part of what makes us authentically who we are.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yes. It's so important to do the things that feed your soul.
Yeah.
To allow yourself to go sing off key and have a freaking blast doing it, to go see the theater shows, to go listen to the orchestra, to go do the things that just add to your capacity, because that's what we need. We need to fill our souls up.
A joyous melody in your heart and harmony in your life.
You are the one that you've been waiting for. No need to knock open the door. Take the leap and be the dream. Welcome to the Be the Dream podcast, where you'll find tools to help you gain the motivation to leap into a life you love.
Guys, we have such a fun episode coming up today. I am so excited to introduce you to Wendy Weber. She is an energy healer and a devoted parrot enthusiast who harmonizes her vibrant spirit with a talent for singer-songwriting, amplifying voices and fostering unity. Her unique melody of resilience and empowerment, triumph over adversity, has been nurtured through decades of parrot companionship and raising her late daughter, who had Down syndrome and then Alzheimer's. Her parody and original songwriting resonates in both healing work and musical expression. She is an absolute hoot, you guys, and I found her to be one of the most incredibly inspirational people that I've ever met in my entire life. We're going to talk about really being alive, really stepping into this incredible life that we have the opportunity to live, and I'm so thrilled to share this episode with you. Hi, Wendy. I am so excited to talk to you. You are so quirky. I'm already getting interrupted, so that's really fun. I would really love to talk to you about being your most authentic self, doing all of the things that you love, and enjoying your life as it is.
Oh boy. Yeah, I wake up and say, who am I today? Well, I'm always the parrot feeder, I'm always the bird feeder. But I'm always the singer-songwriter. I'm always creating music. I can perform. I don't do a lot of that because I'd rather create the music. If there was a group, I'd just as soon, I don't mind being the lead. I'd just soon be in the background and do the harmony. I'm a harmony specialist. That to me is fun. Harmony, well, you probably sing harmony.
Harmony is the depth. Yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter too. What's the depth that brings in the emotion and
yes,
harmony's amazing.
That's why I like to sing in choirs. You can take almost any melody and you can morph it a little bit. You can shift it over into a sort of different lane with harmony. And it depends, and it can be high or it can be low or it can be discordant. But it's the thing that elevates the music. That's why orchestration is so important. And that's why I always love to sing in choir. And I can do the melody and usually do, but I also can sing alto, which is Harmony.
Yeah, I love it. And harmony is such a good metaphor for all of the other, things in life, for the richness and depth of all of our other passions and pursuits, the things that really authentically make us who we are. So I would say maybe your love for parrots is part of the harmony in your life that makes you who you are, right?
Oh, maybe, but it was my husband's choice. When we first got married, I wanted a cat. He won. I've had parrots, not the same ones, but for over 50 years. So we
Wow.
bought parrots. And I'm pretty much of an expert. There's a whole lot that I don't know. If I need questions asked, I go a mile down the road to the parrot shop. My birds are rehomed from there. It's really important to rehome birds with a responsible parent, not parent,
Yeah.
parent. Excuse me. But, when you talk about harmony, if you think about it in terms of color, there's more than one color, or the color has different shades.
Yes.
And we like art that does that. Some of these squares that just have one color, but that means nothing to me.
They're lacking depth. Mm-hmm.
Starting to shade it is what music can do, but not all music. Some of the modern music to me is repetitive. It's not original. It's not interesting, and you can't understand the words, and it's all the same. So that kind of music to me, and maybe I just don't know how to listen to it correctly. I don't have the time to learn that. I do the old school folk music, the old standards, the old time rock and roll. I mean, I like different types of music. I write in different genres, but it's important to me to understand the words, because if I don't understand the words, I'm turned off. I don't want to have to go see the lyrics to see what they're saying.
Yes. And I feel like harmony, like as human beings, we need that depth. We need like that depth, that harmony is part of who we are as people. Like we are so multifaceted.
Yeah.
And that it's part of what makes us authentically who we are.
But think of harmony also as a community. How do we get things done? I mean, a person can make a difference, but it doesn't get carried out except by a group, by a community. So if you look at shading of colors and harmony, community.
Yeah.
And I always think of things when I'm talking to somebody like you, and that makes a podcast, that makes a blog article, that makes a connection. And I never thought of it like that before. But it's fascinating. I've been contributing new things and getting ideas. You and I are creatives.
Yes.
And when we talk to each other or talk to somebody else about a subject, other things come up that we hadn't thought of before. Why is the energy of it? As an energy healer, I know that energy works, and I didn't believe it before I got into it. I was amazed.
That's true of so many people.
Yeah, I was amazed. But we want to have people on a higher vibration level.
Yeah.
Which is what music also helps to do, but music can also bring you down. But if we're all the same harmony, the same vibration level without nuances, then we're robots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we need the opportunity to up level, to rise. And we do that by surrounding ourselves with people who have a higher energy than we do, like a higher capacity, and we can grow into that, which is why it's so important to surround ourselves with the right people.
What is they saying? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yes. Yep. Make sure the room you're in is the right room.
Well, we need to grow, but we can't grow by ourselves. So we can grow by ourselves, but it's a lot slower.
Yeah, we grow exponentially when we have the influence and the energy and the inspiration from the right people.
The right people, the right music, the right colors. I'm a winter in the old book of Color Me Beautiful or whatever it is. And I cannot wear orange You can't see me. Orange makes me disappear. I fade out.
I also look terrible in orange. So I feel you.
Yeah. So if you consider colors and vibration level
Hmm.
and tonality, pitch,
Yeah.
that makes a community. And the community is what works. Now, let's hope that after this last election, I know some people are really disappointed, and I'm usually on the losing side, but not for everything in my state, thank goodness. But it still comes down to what happened to the local elections.
Mm.
How are we working on our community together? So with it,
So true.
back in 2016, I didn't know. I went to bed. I didn't know who won till I got up in the morning, and I don't usually do Facebook first thing in the morning, but I wanted to see what was going on, and I felt this barrage of negative energy. It literally knocked me over. So
Yeah.
what did I do? I wrote a song. Do you need a little magic? Do you need a little magic today? And at the end of it is like most of my songs is a message. The magic doesn't come from outside, it's inside you.
I love it.
Create the magic. And I used all the abracadabra and, all these other words that were really fun. But the point is, I don't want to give my power over to somebody else.
Mm.
And that's what everybody was allowing to happen.
Yes. It starts from the inside out.
Yeah. But we're not taught that.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't taught that anywhere. I had to learn that along the way by looking for help to be more of who I was. Started out with a group that I really made connection with and progress with Think and Grow Rich. But then I needed more of the woman's point of view because I didn't feel I was in the masculine energy, and I need to learn to do the feminine energy.
Yeah.
And so I went here, and here, and there, and here, and there. And the thing that I found was I don't have to act like I'm feminine all the time. I still have to take care of business, but the energy is different.
Yeah.
The energy from our heart is different. Not that men don't do that, but when you learn about how men communicate and how women communicate, we don't speak the same language. We have to learn to do the translation. Now, I don't think that would have saved my marriage. My late ex-husband was manic depressive, and there was nothing that I could do about that. Couldn't get him to get help. But the language, I learned to do the language better with men and think about how they view my language so that there is better communication. And we still, there's so much that's known about that, and there's so much left to know, to learn. I'll let somebody else do that study. I might sing a song about it, but I'd let somebody else do that kind of work. But just
I
the
love it.
knowledge, So
Yeah.
talking to you is like almost like a mirror of myself. I just at a different level. So we're not like this, but we're more like this.
Yeah.
And
like,
that makes a difference.
I know. I'm like, my ukulele's upstairs. I've got my sound bowls over here. Like, let's do this. I love how you talked about, well, okay, I love everything you talk about, but I loved how I know it's like hard to pick one thing and narrow it down for another question and direction, but I loved how you talked about using your voice and your songwriting abilities to take this, to really transmute that negative energy you were feeling and to turn it into something beautiful. Because that is something that I love to do. And it really helps me to deal with some of the stuff that I have. Like, I wrote a love song to apathy when my kids were screaming and yelling at me and breaking my things. And I was like, Mom, I can't just be upset with you when you really genuinely don't understand how much it hurts that you are breaking all my stuff. That's why, wrote this love song to apathy. And music can, especially the writing of these lyrics, and it can be poetry, and it can be, novels, whatever it is, that when you're using those creative skills to transmute your emotions into something beautiful, it's amazing. It's like, it's so powerful. So I'd love to hear more about how you do that and the ways that has changed your life.
Well, I've been doing music my whole life. I was doing parodies for many, many years. And that means writing poems. And then my daughter, Layla, who had Down syndrome and then had lost her complications from Alzheimer's in June. But she was having a bat mitzvah. So we're talking 30 years ago. And I was writing a poem because as a parent, I was to say something nice about her after she completed the ritual requirements to the extent that she was able. And this tune literally kept knocking at my head.
Yeah.
And I finally said, all right, you're a song.
Yes.
And this song captures her essence. And when I started to play the notes or started to sing it, she would say, that's my song, because it didn't belong to anybody else. And that essence is there for me to listen to, for me to sing, for me to look at the words and hold on to as Alzheimer's was stealing her away. And now that she's gone, we did so much with her. She did so many things that most parents don't even think of allowing their child to do. I took risks. Now, the kinds of risks I did were calculated, and she had safety nets. I mean, she did gymnastics. She was on the uneven bars. She went down River Rampage, which was the rapids with the Phoenix Parks and Rec, with a special program. We did parasailing on cruises and zip lining, and she learned to snorkel, and we did that. I'll tell you.
She lived an amazing life.
And we did everything that I could afford that we thought she could do, which is more than most people did. She loved doing karaoke. So what if she didn't sing on key? Everybody clapped for her because they didn't have the guts to get up there and do that. And she was reading the words. That was the thing I was most proud of.
Yeah.
And temple, she knew all the prayers and songs, and she didn't sing on key, but everybody liked to be around her. They were so proud of her. And I wrote an article about, because I always thought it went up to God and it came down perfect. So I wrote an article about singing in God's key. And that really described it. It put it in a lyrical sense, no pun intended, that described her singing. She sang in choirs and she was drowned out by people around her, but they made sure she could be part of it. And she never knew that she couldn't sing on key. She didn't hear that.
Did it for the joy of it.
Yeah. Yeah, the joy of it. And these are things that, because we had her included, brought her back to the local school and had her included. And of course, she had an aide. And we had a group that just really helped bring the most out of her. And of course, I did everything at home to reinforce. The world needs more of that. But as moms, it's not perfect.
It's not easy.
No, and we do the best we can, and we have to do some things for ourselves.
Yeah. Yep. And if you don't do those things for yourself, you have a diminished capacity to do them for your kids and for others.
Yeah. Yeah. So my late husband, he didn't like me going to so many meetings, but he never begrudged me going to the theater. So I still go to the theater. I get season tickets for the local theater in the year. So I don't have any excuses not to go. And I love musical theater. And then locally, and I brought her to one or two of them. We have the North Valley Symphony Orchestra. It's all volunteer orchestra. It's $5 to $10 a ticket. It's a mile from my house. It's my daughter's old high school. And they're really good. They're volunteers. And in the program are the information about there's always a theme about the composers. And then the conductor gives more information. You look for this, look for that. We love it. That's something that we also did. She preferred country music. Okay, that's what she learned living out of the house. But that's okay. That's okay. That's what she liked to sing on the cruises and karaoke.
It's so important to do the things that feed your soul.
Yeah.
To allow yourself to go sing off key and have a freaking blast doing it, to go see the theater shows, to go listen to the orchestra, to go do the things that just add to your capacity, because that's what we need. We need to fill our souls up.
Yeah, and I was lucky where we had the children's theater. We had season tickets for 2 of the children's theaters. She became a really good theater goer. I could take her to regular theater, and she loved that. And it was the richness.
Yeah. Well, and it's amazing. It's amazing to see. I have a severely autistic 13-year-old, and we got to take him to the ballet once, and they had a production that was just for special needs kiddos. And I was like, and the whole room was so loud, and it was amazing. And as soon as those dancers started moving, he was completely enthralled. And it just, I mean, it'll just stop your heart as a mom to see your child who never stops moving, who never stops yelling, who just wants to go, go, go all the time, calm down and be so in love with theater, something that I love so much. Yeah. And it was incredible.
Was it the music, do you think? Or was it the movement he watched, or just all of it?
I'm not sure. He does love music, but he won't even watch movies. He'll sit there and watch 3 seconds of it and fast forward and 3 seconds and fast forward.
Well, I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are pretty bad, but the music is such a, does he like art? Because the music and art therapy, music therapy and art therapy can do wonders.
He likes to do art. He likes to paint. I have called him l'artiste because he wants to paint my whole house all fun colors, which is great. We're renting. Yes. But he'll paint all the canvases solid colors. He'll take my husband's art off the wall and paint that for him. Yes. Really loves to maybe not appreciate other people's art, but make his own and color up his whole body.
Were you able to take him to a museum, an art museum?
He is much more into doors and alarms than he's into looking at art.
Okay. And alarms have different calls.
Yes, we are very into sound and loud noises and those kind of things. So this has been so beautiful. Is there anything that you want to wrap us up with? Any final thoughts that you want to share with us?
Well, I am a singer-songwriter, and I can write your song about you. I just, I need your information, but I always like to sign off wishing you a joyous melody in your heart and harmony in your life.
I love it. Thank you so much. Can you tell us where we can find you and follow you?
Not the same place as my parrots will, but they fly. Wendy at Wendy Weber Music. That's Weber with 1B.com. I'm on LinkedIn at Wendy Weber Music. I'm on Instagram, Wendy E. Weber, because there's so many Wendy Webers. And on Facebook, it's Wendy.Weber. And I'm also on the Easy Way network platform. So I'm around. But if you tell me, let me know where you met me. And then so I'm just not totally out of the blue. But I love connections, and I appreciate the opportunity so much, Carolee.
Oh, this has been so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Be the Dream podcast. In the show notes, you're going to find links about how to be a guest on the show, how to find my website, and anything special I have going on at the moment.
Please share this with a friend. Let them know that you're thinking about them, and let's share inspiration with as many people as we can, because we can all use a little more motivation in our lives. See you next time. And until then, remember that being the dream is not about what you do, but about who you are.